So update 5.0 and season 5 are finally here for Battlefield 2042, and as always I'm going to be doing my initial review on everything that we got in the new update and the new season after a few really solid sessions of playtime. If you guys are enjoying Battlefield 2042 and want to see more content on the game, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. There is plenty more content on the way, but with that being said, let's get stuck right into it. Now, just last week you guys may have seen that I actually was lucky enough to get my hands on update 5.0 early. EA and DICE invited me to play the update a little bit early and just kind of get an initial screener of all the new content we were getting. So this is kind of a hard one to do as like an initial review because obviously I've already played it last week. This is more of like a second and third session actually playing the update. So the positive to that is that I think my thoughts are a bit more fleshed out than they normally are with the update reviews, simply because normally they are just based on maybe 3 to 4 hours playtime. This is actually more based off probably by now I'd say 7 or 8 hours of playtime, which is probably better for the video anyway. Now the first thing that I wanted to touch on was once again the map. For me, the maps are always the most important part of an update, and honestly Reclaimed has only grown on me even more since my playtime last week. I already liked it in the playtest, but I wasn't 100% sure if it would be up there with my favorites, but I do think by this point it is probably up there already in the top 3 maps for me, and I'm really enjoying my playtime on it. Now the only issue that I've really come to see in terms of the added playtime that I've had now is that I do think the map is just a little bit unbalanced, mostly towards the US team. It feels like most of the games that I join, the US team generally tends to win, but then also it's not even just unbalanced to the one side. It seems as though it is actually just unbalanced in that whichever team wins, they are pretty much dominating that game. I'm actually yet to have a single game on there where it's come down to like even just like a few hundred tickets. Pretty much every game it's like one team still has 500 tickets left and the other team has 0. So that could just be coincidence. It could just be the matchmaking is putting a lot of good players on one team or the other. It is a little bit hard to tell until I've had like genuine weeks and weeks of game time. But yeah, it definitely seems a little bit suspicious to me that it seems like they are all absolute floggings rather than any close games. And I'm wondering whether that's to do with the actual layout of the map, which is definitely a possibility. Now, part of what that could be is that the C1 and C2 flags are so crucial to the outcome of the game that it pretty much seems like whichever team gets those central flags is going to win every single time, which then allows, because the map is not so much linear, but it is definitely in like separate thirds. So there's like A1, B1 in the first third, then there's the C flags in the center, and then there's D1 and E1 on the other side of the map. It pretty much seems like if you get C1 and C2, then you can easily just defend your own flags, and then you're just going to absolutely dominate. And from there, you can even just keep spawning on the C flags and actually push into the other team's side of the map, which may be where those annihilations are actually coming from. The other thing is that I feel as though the AA gun that's on the top of C2, that feels absolutely overpowered. I'm going to try and show you guys a clip. I'm not sure if I was even recording when that happened, but I literally just deleted a helicopter in what felt like 2 seconds from full health, which, don't get me wrong, I hate vehicles, so that was very fun for me, but it actually felt a little bit overpowered. And when I finished getting that kill, I was kind of like, what the hell, how is that even possible? And obviously you need to pretty much control the C sector to actually have that. So it also feels like not only it helps with the spawning, but whichever team controls the C flags, they're going to have complete aerial superiority, which is then just adding to it even more. So that is really my only issue with the map so far. Generally with those sorts of imbalances, they are relatively easy to fix in terms of just like pushing one side spawns a little bit closer, pushing the other side spawns a little bit further back, stuff like that. So it should be fixable. It's not like, oh well, the map's been designed poorly, so now it's permanently going to be like that. They can hopefully fix it. So I just hope that they are aware of that. But then also, like I said, it could just honestly be a coincidence. At this point, I don't know until I've had weeks of playtime. Now, moving on to the weapons, and the first thing I want to say is that the portal weapons absolutely feel amazing right now. The changes that they've made to, I think there was either 6 or 7 ARs that they've actually added the attachments to, they feel absolutely amazing. Feels good to have them finally feel like they're actually Battlefield 2042 weapons, which they definitely did not previously. They really did just feel like they were from a different game, which didn't really feel right when you're actually using them, whereas now they do feel as though they're actually like built into 2042, if that makes sense. So that one is pretty broad there, but I'm really just overall very happy with the portal changes, and I am keen to get them added to all of the like SMGs and LMGs and stuff like that too in the next couple of months. As for the actual brand new weapons, the G46 and the XCE sniper are both really fun so far. Just like I said last week, the only issue I have with the G46 is that I do wish it had like a 40 or 50 round mag, but at the same time, they may have just done that for balancing reasons. I'm not really too sure. And then obviously, if every single weapon has 40 or 50 round mags, then that's all we're going to use. So I do get that having a little bit of a difference here and there, it is fine. So it's really a bit more of a nitpick. It doesn't ruin the weapon for me at all. It's just more that I do really enjoy running the higher round mags, and with the AR changes they've actually made to like the bullet spread and stuff, which I'll get to in a second, it almost feels like it needs it as well, because it is a little bit less accurate than I guess we're used to with most of the ARs. Now, touching on those AR changes, if you guys didn't hear, they have pretty much tweaked the way that the bullet spread is actually going to work now, pretty much just exclusively to the ARs. And really for me, I'm not 100% sure on the changes yet. I'm not sure if I like them or dislike them. I definitely see why they did it, because a lot of those were genuine laser beams. If you guys played Warzone, it was feeling like peak Warzone, where you could just hold down the trigger and pretty much absolutely beam anyone from like 100 meters away. So I can definitely see why they did it, but I'm just not 100% sure if I'm actually for it or against it just yet, mostly because obviously the negative side is that I am now much less accurate, and I'll be honest, I need all the help I can get with my aim. So I'm not 100% sure on this, but I will, I'm sure, come around to it eventually. And like I said, even if I don't end up liking it, I can see why they did it, and I do think it's probably a positive change for the game anyway. Now, the last thing to touch on is just the battle pass, which obviously is pretty stock standard. It's kind of the same thing that we get every single season, which for me is a good addition to the game. I think the battle passes have been kind of progressively a little bit better each time. This one again just feels slightly better in terms of they seem to add more skins per season instead of it just being like emblems and stickers and stuff like that. It's more like proper stuff that I actually want to use. And then the skins themselves, for example, the Dozer skin, even though I don't actually use Dozer, that skin is absolutely sick. So once again, the battle pass seems really solid. I can't give it too much praise because it's just a battle pass. It's not that hard to get a battle pass correct. So it seems pretty solid, and it seems like just the same sort of thing that we're used to, which I definitely can't complain about. Overall though, I'm very happy with update 5.0. The game seems in a very, very solid state right now. Obviously, we just got the official announcement that Season 6 is on the way too. We kind of knew that they were doing more content, but they didn't officially say the words Season 6 until just the other day. So the game seems in a really good state, and it's exciting to actually have, you know, the 3 months of this season, but then a confirmed 3 more months of the next season, and hopefully more beyond that too. And so I'm actually, you know, it adds to the excitement knowing that in a few months I'm still going to be able to play this game. It makes me want to play more right now, because I know that all the grinding I'm putting into like getting the new weapons and their attachments, it's not just going to be wasted in 3 months when the game gets cancelled or something like that. So the game's in a very good state right now. Hopefully it just continues to improve, and I'm definitely looking forward to update 5.1, where hopefully we get some more portal weapon changes, hopefully for the SMGs, as well as hopefully a few other goodies as well. I'm keen to hear your thoughts down below though, so be sure to leave a comment with all of your thoughts on Season 5 so far. And like I said, if you are new to the channel and you're enjoying Battlefield 2042, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all out there on the battlefield.